Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today for the American Modernlink WebEx to show you mobile homes. I really appreciate it. My name is Nadine Rosenstill. I'm the Personal Lines Manager here at the Toscano Agency. If you have any questions, please, you can text in the little chat box on the right-hand bottom of the little WebEx box. Just text me over a message. I'm very informal, so please, feel free to do so at any time. Also, after the WebEx, if you have any questions, I know how that is, that, something pops in your head. My email address is easy. It's Nadine, Nadine, at Toscano.com. Or my phone number is 724-836-1510. Feel free to either text me, email, or give me a phone call. And believe me, we're here to answer any questions that you need. So let's get started. So one of the first questions I always have is, how do we even get on the Modernlink? So we have a really easy setup for you on our website, which is www.toscano.com. In the toolbox section, which is in the upper right-hand column, you will see Personal Lines company portals. And these are all of our portals that you can go on and quote, bind, and issue online. And you'll see America Modern. And what this does is it passes you through directly to Modernlink, as you can see here. If this does not happen for you, there could be a couple of reasons why. A, you might not have a login. If you need a Modernlink login, please, again, email me. I will send you the information that's needed. Another reason why possibly is that you share a login with somebody, or you don't have a Toscano login. So we call this single sign-on. In order for the single sign-on to work, you need to log on to the Toscano website, and then it passes you through to Modernlink. Now, it does take, after we initially set you up, it takes about 24 to 48 hours for it to work. So don't panic if you just get a login. It might not happen, immediately. If you do not, some people they just want to save it in your favorites once you're on, feel comfortable to save it in your favorites, that's fine too. Now, if you need a login, on our website, you will see at the portal section, create an account. So simply go there, and it's going to ask you a couple questions. Now, I know there's some rumbling about having to need this. It's called a sub-producer application. It's an electronic form. And what is happening is America Modern is out to protect your insured. That they want to make sure that everybody, since you are able to quote, bind, and issue, they simply want to make sure that you're a licensed professional, because what had happened, the state came and audited the company, and they were finding, and thankfully it was nobody that we deal business with, and nor do I don't even think it was anyone in PA or near us, but they were finding some people that weren't licensed, and the agent had good intentions. It was just, like a service rep that he had in his office, and she was just going through the screens, and and they got fined. The company got fined. So now they have this sub-producer application. It's just to make sure that you're licensed, that you had a license in good faith. So it's truly there to protect the consumer. So let's get started. We're going to learn mobile homes today. And mobile homes is something that we're learning is it's back in business again. I'm reading some articles on insurance journals and things like that, and they're saying that the mobile home market, they're coming back to business. Their sales are increasing, which is good news. It's affordable living for a lot of individuals. What's nice is America Modern will take any age of home. So whether you have a 2018 mobile home or a 1962 mobile home, they will take that mobile home. They'll also have replacement costs on that mobile home as long as it's newer than 30 years. So anything 30 years or newer, you can get replacement costs. The one thing with replacement costs, though, is that replacement cost has to go back to 2018 value. And I'll show you about the Marshall Swiftback. It has a built-in Marshall Swiftback. So some people are kind of surprised to see the value of their homes and they don't want them to be so high, something to keep in mind that when you are picking replacement costs, it has to be that value of 2018 and not, an older value. So it's very simple. Once you are logged on, it's going to, if you use our website to pass through to Modernlink, your sub-producer application and our general agent number is already going to be entered. Ask you for the effective date. If it's something in advance, say you're quoting something for next month, you would enter in that effective date. The rating zip code is of where the mobile home is located. We are able to do owner-occupied homes. We're able to do rental homes. We are also able to do an HO4, like content only. So wherever that home is located, that is where you will enter in the zip code. Now we are able to do other states, all the surrounding states up and down the coast. One thing to keep in mind, however, is you have to be licensed in that state. So if you are a Pennsylvania agent and they have a New York seasonal mobile home, you have to be licensed in New York. You have to be a broker. So, or if you're a North Carolina agent and you want to do the home is in Pennsylvania, you have to have a Pennsylvania non-resident license. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Sometimes we have some misunderstandings on that. So you do have to be licensed in the state that the home is located. So I'm just going to use, so it's telling, sorry, I missed, entered my sub-producer number. Let's see here, okay, 990000. And we're going to pick manufactured home and get a quote. It just verifies the zip code. And here's where you're going to put in exactly what it says, the basic information and the effective date, your primary, named insured. At this point for quoting, you don't really need a spouse or secondary name because it's just going to do, they do insurance score. The better the credit, the better the rate. They will never deny anybody for bad credit. And it's a soft hit. It's something that will not show on the insured's credit report. Date of birth. And this promotional code or referral code are things that aren't happening right now. If the company decides to do any type of promotion, like maybe a something they were thinking about is maybe if you control another piece of the business, you could enter a code there and they'd get another discount. The company we're picking is American Modern, which is 085. It's asking you for the location. So this again is the location of where the mobile home is. So if it's a seasonal home, you're going to put where that's located. If it's a rental, that's where the rental property is. So we're going to pick Greensburg. We're going to say this is our primary residence just for today. But again, this is all of the how the unit is used, the purchase date. You know what, I'm going to make it to today. And one thing with the purchase date is American Modern will only accept risk that have been uninsured for under 30 days unless it's a new purchase. So there are exceptions to every rule. So if it's a situation that you can come to us if it's over 30 days, we can look at the risk, find the reason why. For instance, one of the common reasons is if somebody was in the hospital and they just were unable to pay their bills and it expired, and here it is going on now 60 days. Of course, if we get a no loss letter, we can make the exception and look at that. We do have other markets also, so we never like to tell somebody no, but just keep in mind that the risk does have to be and cannot be uninsured for over 30 days. So the purchase price excluding land, that's something else we run into. Sometimes, they buy the home and it includes the land. We're not, you have to exclude the land in the purchase price. So we're going to say, let's just say 15,000, just make up a price. The model year, we're going to say 2018. The length is 60. The width, we're going to say, is like 48. Again, I'm just making these up. How many miles from the fire department? I'm always Googling mapping things like that because there is a change in premium sometimes on that. The location is asking if it's in a private property, if it's in a lot. Again, the amount of spaces does not matter. It does qualify if it's over 100 spaces. Is it on a permanent foundation? We're going to say yes. We're going to say that land is owned. Does it have a composite roof? Protective siding? We're going to say yes. Is it located in the city limits? We're going to say no. Is it tied down? This is not a eligibility question. Is the risk tied down? It's very interesting. I learned what the tie down question meant actually visiting America Modern, and I was fortunate enough to be in their claims center, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's unbelievable what they do there. And they had a mobile home, and they showed me the tie downs is that they were these, I don't know if this is new to me. I don't know if anybody else knew this or not. That's why I'm sharing it. But they were actually these steel anchors that were underneath the mobile home, and that, you know, they kind of swung out and you hammered them in. And the reason why they have that question is in some states and territories, it is a law that that home has to be, you have those tie downs. So that's the question on whether or not, you know, there's some areas that do require it. They just want to know whether or not that you are using the tie downs. It's not any type of discount or anything like that. Is this a modular home? We get this question often, and anything that's has an underline, you can click on it like I just did and bring you up exactly what they're looking for. So there is a difference between a modular home and a manufactured home. A modular home does not have a serial number, where the word modular should be used in place of a serial number when quoting. It's basically that it's still under the same program. We write modular homes under the manufactured homeowners. We're going to say no. Is he insured the original owner? We're going to say yes. Has a length of time, for the length of time the applicant has owned the dwelling, how many days has it been uninsured? We're going to say 0. The Marshall Swift value, the hyperlink is here, but this is not where we're going to go to get to the Marshall Swift back. We're going to a couple screens. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's really easy. And they're asking what kind of limit are you looking for? So I say this purchase price was 15, so we're going to say 15,000. This question here, the attached or unattached structures question, I always say no at quoting, because if I say yes, it asks you for the dimensions. You can add on into the limit section attached structure, so it's a little bit deceiving. I just say no because I a lot of times don't know what my unattached structures are at the time of quoting. At bonding, more than likely, you're going to know that. You're going to know the dimensions of a shed. So just because I can say I'm a little bit lazy, I don't want to make up, and here's what I mean by that is, see, it asks you the description, the square feet, things like that. So if you hit no, you're still going to have the coverage later on. Okay, so we hit next. This should take us to our next screen. Eligible programs. So we have the manufactured home package program is what we pick. It's a 12-month term. The other is a byline program, and what that can do is pick and choose what you want. So if you only want property, no liability coverage, you would pick that program. I can tell you that probably once in my life, and I've been here 29 years, I've picked this byline program. You know, everybody wants, you know, both full coverage on the mobile home majority of the time. So this is the insurance scoring. You do not have to enter in the Social Security number for the best for a rate, but for the best rate, we strongly suggest it, especially if the people have moved around a lot. We suggest it. What it will do is go by the mailing address and date of birth. So again, the better the credit, the better the rate. I'm just going to enter in the If I could type today, oh my goodness gracious. Okay. It's just asking you to enter in this Social Security number one more time. Again, you don't have to do it at quoting. So here is the coverage pages. So right away, it's telling us about the Marshall Swift-Beck calculating. Now, the couple of the things that America Modern offers, extra coverages, this is where you'll find it on this page also. So we go to the Marshall Swift-Beck estimator directly from this site. We just click the little blue box. And it brings us to Marshall Swift-Beck, which is pretty awesome. It is filled in based on, you know, previous experience on homes situated, you know, with the criteria that they got. So you might have to make a little bit changes. You know, it's saying it has a full bath and a half bath. If you know absolutely that it does not, you just delete it. If you know it only has one full bath, you can just change it to one. So, you know, for instance, more than likely this is going to have a central air. So you would just add it. So over here, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get my, okay. Okay, there it is. Sorry about that. Hit the finish key and you save it. So that automatically takes you, then if you refresh, it tells you what your, and I do apologize. I have no idea why it says $1. I must have hit something that wasn't, we can go back into it. I bet I didn't save it. Let's see here. Okay, we're gonna hit finish and save. I have a feeling I hit disregard by mistake. I do apologize about that. Okay, so we're gonna refresh. Okay, there it is. So what we have to do is go back to our basic and change our limit, because I'm going to pick replacement costs on this home and do the 146 for the replacement costs. They actually tell you that the actual cash value, but because this is a 2018, that's why they're saying that it's the same amount. So then we just hit next till we get to the coverage pages. So the limits. So you can pick, you know, you're getting 58 on this example, you're getting 58,800 included of contents. Here's where I talk about the other structures. You can increase that at this time. The personal liability goes up to 300,000. Here are the deductible options. Personal property on contents. Here's where I pick the replacement costs for on the home. If you want backups of sewers and drains, builder's risk. What this is, it's pretty cool. It's a coverage that if they're building the mobile home, so you can actually have that coverage, and then it turns into a manufactured homeowners. They also have trip collision, which is nice. So if they are moving the mobile home, you can add that in, and it's good for 30 days. Is a $100 deductible just on that. It's separate from the policy, the deductible on the policy. But if they're moving the mobile home, they will have coverage while it's in transit. And mechanical breakdown. If there's any type of supplemental heating, such as, you know, a wood stove, something like that, they do take those, but they are going to surcharge. It is minimal. And then if you have any scheduled, like jewelry, fur, things like that, we are able to schedule it. So then we just hit update quote, and there you go. There's the premium. What we're going to do is save it. And if the insured likes that premium, here is the installments that they can have a full pay a 4-pay, which they do charge a $7 fee for the installment, or the Easy Pay monthly, which is an automatic withdrawal that comes out of their bank account. They can do that. Now, we always suggest at binding that you collect the money at binding. There is an option, I do believe, when we get there that you can build it down, but going forward, American Modern, any binding, they're going to require that money at binding. So we're just telling our agents that to get in the habit now of collecting money. They can also bill the mortgagee, which is nice. So let's say they like the premium, so we're going to hit next. Now keep in mind, I mean, that premium is $1,000, but we're also talking almost $150,000 home. So truthfully, we don't see homes of that value normally. You know, our values are, you know, normally between probably 50 and 60, you know, depending on the age. So it's a little bit higher because of the value. And these are just the underwriting questions. The first question is the applicant unemployed other than being disabled? And the reason for that question is the insured has to be employed because the company wants to know how, you know, basically how they're going to make their bills. So if it's a situation that the person is disabled or retired, Social Security is fine. But if they're truly unemployed, if it's a situation that they are starting a new job, that's fine. I would just put that in the notes section, which is down here in the memo section. So is the applicant is the applicant unemployed? No. Has the applicant had any other insurance decline? Is a swimming pool. So if they want a fenced-in swimming pool. If they do not have a fence on, if it's at least 4 feet, we are unable to write it. Does the applicant have any large or unusual vicious animals? So they're looking for the chows in the wolf hybrid, Rottweilers, things like that. Is it located near any brush fires or landslides? Is it within 1,000 feet of an island or within 1,000 feet of Seacoast River? Actually, the island question is pretty common that we get. We do have in this area, Western PA, a couple places that mobile homes are on islands, and unfortunately we can't write them. It's basically because of the access for fire trucks. They have a hard time getting fire trucks there. That's what they're really looking at. Is the home supported on raised poles or pilings? Is it undergoing renovations? Again, if it's under construction and under renovations, we would put the builder's risk endorsement on and it would be eligible. Now, we do have a market for vacant mobile homes, so we are able to write those. Is it commercial or farming business operations? Again, is a home vacant? It's foreclosed. Are there 2 mortgages? They do not want to write a risk that has more than 2 mortgages. Is there any applicant had any fire loss, liability, water, or flood loss in the past 5 years? Now, it's kind of nice because it does not matter the limit of the loss. You know, they're looking at the number of losses. I know some companies, you know, above a certain limit, they want, but it's how many losses. 2 or more fire, theft, liability in any combination. Has the applicant had any 3 or more property losses in the last 5 years? Any unrepaired or boarded up damage of windows? Does the dwelling have any unrepaired water damage or water leaks? And it's going to ask for any loss information. It does run a clue, so it will run it, and you know, it tells you whether or not, because people forget, or if they're in the new home, they might not know it's there. So this is where it's I would enter the spouse's secondary name, or a spouse or secondary person to be on the policy. This is where we would put our park name if it's in a park, the make and model, and the serial number. I know sometimes that's hard to find. If it is, especially on older mobile homes, sometimes it's in a closet somewhere. Sometimes that they just it's just not there. The person doesn't know because the mobile home, it's okay, it's fine. I would just write unknown there, and just maybe in the memo column, just write, the insured looked for it, was unable to find the serial number and the make and model of the mobile home. Have you any prior manufactured homes with American Modern? We're going to say no. It's asking for the home phone number, work phone number is optional. The home phone number is really truly so the company can get in touch with the insured directly. There may be an inspection. They don't inspect every property. It's they have a certain, I don't know what I want to call it, but not all dwellings even get inspected by American Modern. If you meet a certain requirement, like if it's probably in a protection class 10, they're going to inspect it. But if it's in a protection class 4, they're probably not in, it's a newer mobile home, they've had it insured for years, they're probably not going to inspect it. So, and with that protection, they do take protection class 9s and 10s, which is nice. The marital status, they do not give any type of discount. They're just to ask, I suppose. Lien holders and mortgagees, any additional insureds. The one thing with the additional insureds that we sometimes get some pushback on is the mobile home park wanting to be listed as additional insured. We are unable to do that. American Modern is unwilling because there's no financial interest. Now, if the mobile home park just wants to know that they're insured, we are more than welcome to give them a certificate or give them a copy of the policy. But, one thing to keep in mind with that, what kind of opened, because I was, kind of upset that American Modern wouldn't do this. And then they explained to me, if there are any claims on that policy and that mobile home park is listed as additional insured, they're going to be listed on the claims check too. So if it's a liability or property loss, it's going to be the insured's name and the mobile home park owner on the check. So that was a good way of looking at it. So most of the time, the mobile home park, they just want to make sure the insured has insurance. So a certificate is fine. We can type that up. And again, we can send a copy of the policy to whoever needs it. So we just hit next. Oh my goodness, sorry. It's asking me for, so I'm just going to make up that, see if it takes that. Okay, so this is where you put in the banking information on the check or the credit card. They take both. This is where you pick the payment plan. So, sorry, my little tab is. Full pay, for pay, or easy pay monthly out of the credit or debit card. Again, here's the estimate. We're going to say full pay. And these are where we can bill the payments to. We're going to bill the down. EFT is a check. It takes electronic check, credit card. It's not giving me the mortgagee because I did not put in a mortgagee. So that's why it's not giving me the option, but you can bill a mortgagee. Again, these options of billing the down to the insured or even to the agent, they're going to be obsolete soon. Now, the one thing with the bill the down to the agent or sub-producer, keep in mind, you will not get a bill. So in those situations where this comes into play, when a lot of agents get cash and then they want to go on and make payment, you'll have to make that payment the next day with your checking or credit card information. They will not send a bill to you because they feel that you are in there. The bill is due. So, the agent should pay it. Okay, we're going to say EFT the down payment, and here's where you put in the amount received and all the banking information. I always forget, what do they mean by ABA number? And if you click again on the hyperlink, it shows you the example. So after you enter in all that, you hit next, and I'm not going to do that because I don't want to put in my banking information and actually bind it. It binds the account. So you can get a binder. At that point, you can print out the application. Everything is EFT'd, so they don't really even have to physically write you a check if they don't want to. They can just show you the bank routing numbers, or they can write void across the check. You can keep everything in file. If they do give you a check, you can shred it or again write void. You can keep the signed application in file in your office. The only time we ever need it is if we get audited which is once a year, and they randomly just pick like 30 insureds. So it's nice, you keep everything there. So within a couple minutes, you're able to quote find an issue. So your policy will be mailed directly to the insured, and then the next day to be available from download for you from Toscano's, or I'm sorry, from Modernlink. So you can go online and retrieve it from Modernlink, which is nice. So that's about it. Couple things to keep in mind with America Modern. So they're giving away 5% additional commission on new business, and that runs until February, which is nice. That will be automatic. So any new business, they will we're keeping track of that. It will be automatically on your commission statement each month from Toscano for each piece of new business. Another thing to keep in mind is agency downloads. So I know many of the offices like agency downloads. If you are interested in that, please let me know. I'll send you an electronic link, and you can get set up to get downloads. One more thing before I go is the eForms area that is on Modernlink. If you hit eForms, all of their forms and manuals are on their system, which is kind of nice. So if you search by product, for instance, we just did the manufactured home. You just hit find, and these are all the states that we're able to do manufactured home in. I'm just going to pick PA because that's where we are. And these are all of the endorsements that are on the policy that you can find. So if an insured asks, you know, what is, let's see, let's pick one, you know, golf cart physical damage, you know, we can add a golf cart to the policy. This is explaining the coverage to them. They also have the manuals. And if you scroll down, you'll see the program manual. And it's all PDF. You can save it to your desktop, or you can print it out, whatever you'd like. It's explaining, you know, the deductibles, the minimum limits that are required, the maximum limits, things like that. And it's also telling you a little bit of descriptions about, you know, the coverages and what's, you know, what's available, which is really, really nice. So that's it. Again, thank you so much for joining us. If you have any questions, please, my email address is nadine@toscano.com, NADINE@toscano.com. Please let me know. If you get into Modernlink and you're having trouble, I know exactly how that is that like, oh man, what did she do? Or if you get hung up, please just give any of us a call on personal lines. Would be willing to help you. We want to help you. Another nice feature that American Modern does offer is this live chat. At any time, you can hit that, and you can live chat. You just enter your name, your agent number is your sub-producer number, and you know, you can chat with them. What is terrific. The only thing that I probably can't help you with is I can request a password, but we no longer can reset your password. So if you forget your password, the best way to do it is just hit that forget password link or use the live chat feature. Unfortunately, a few years back, we were able to go in and change your password. That is really the only thing that we can't do for you. So other than, I mean, we can ask somebody to do it for you, but you'd get it a lot quicker if you just hit that forget password link. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And let me know if you have questions. You have a great day. Bye-bye.